zooplankton. The ocean is basically the life support system of the planet. To change that life support system in any major way is a risky thing. We know from the past that when oceans have changed, that life on Earth has changed.
I needed to know why people were killing sharks and what I could do to stop it. So I left my job as a photographer and set out to make a film about them. But they were gone. In places where I'd always found hundreds of sharks, I only found a few. Shark populations had been decimated all over the world, and the last sharks were being hunted down in the few remaining sanctuaries. Nobody noticed. Everyone wanted to save pandas, elephants, and bears. And the world was afraid of sharks.
I read a story about this boy who was 13 in Japan and got swallowed whole. It didn't even bite him, it just swallowed him.
Yeah?
And they cut out and they found his body.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even bit. And that's scary.
So if you're not seeing sharks here, why are you so afraid of the water?
Because they'll still bite you. And I panic. I will just panic.
Yeah.
I'm such a wimp.
Well, what are your chances of being bitten by a shark? They must be so small.
No, not really.
No, it's small. You know how it's safe. I've never seen a shark here.
I've never heard of anywhere else getting bit by sharks as much as here.
It's true.
Not even in Daytona. Here it's like the worst.
Sharks rarely bite human beings, but never because they're hungry and say, oh, look, there's something juicy over there. They try to figure out what we are. They don't know what we are, so they explore us. On very rare occasions, they come that close that actually can just do an exploratory bite, and that's why the majority of all bites are very, very superficial. We hardly have really serious bites. So that tells us something. 60 to 100 bites every year out of these millions encounters that we have with these animals. So just based on that, sharks cannot be dangerous. People think, well, they're dumb, they're stupid. That's not true. Their intelligence is quite amazing. They have short-term memories, long-term memories. They can learn by observation. So nothing is stupid or primitive in these animals. So old ideas, well, they just follow a blood trail, you know, they just bite everything that is shiny. We'll pretty quick realize, hey, that is all wrong.
In just 1 year, crocodiles around the world wiped out as many people as sharks have killed over the past 100. The crocodile is protected.
Shark is very kind animals. That means shark actually is not kind animals.
No?
You don't believe you go to see the shark whether it eat you or not. No, the shark is not.
Shark's not.
It's very, very fierce.
Yeah?
Very fierce. You see the teeth?
Yeah?
Oh,
So I should not, like, it's not a good idea to go swimming with sharks? That's not
they bite you and then you tear away, you die. You will be immediately die, pain until die. Shark is very fierce animal.
They're the scourge of the ocean, and everyone should go and catch one. All the greenies can come around and say that these things, let them live, okay? We can live on land too, but we don't go out there and bite the bums off them, do we? They come in here and get us.
How bad is the shark as a predator? I mean, you make it sound as though it really is a direct threat to human beings who dare swim in the water.
Yeah, you try swimming with a shark like that in 8 feet of water and you'll find out, because we got no hope if they decide to eat us.
But don't you think that one effect of you going out and capturing sharks and talking this way is that you bring about an hysteria in people? They're going to panic.
No, I've saved a lot of lives, believe me. If it wasn't for me and what I've done the last 25 years, there'd be a lot more people killed.
The fact is, sharks do not eat people. If they did, I would have been eaten a long time ago. Most sharks have teeth which are ineffective cutting tools and can't effectively remove flesh from something larger than their mouths. 100 needles in your leg would have a tough time removing a chunk of flesh. Most sharks lack the equipment they need to go after large animals like us, and they know that. They've evolved to eat certain prey items, and most sharks are picky eaters. They won't bother wasting energy going after something they know they can't eat efficiently. When a shark mistake does happen, the person inevitably ends up back on shore. In most shark attacks, flesh is never removed. Even in the odd case where someone dies, it's usually because of blood loss, not because the shark ate the person. A 12-foot or even a 6-foot fish could do anything it wanted to a human. And they don't. It's a huge testament to shark sensory systems how few people are attacked each year. You wouldn't go for a run next to a pride of lions, but we do this with sharks all the time. There are millions of people entering the water every year in areas where sharks hunt, and very few people are bitten. If they wanted to eat us, they would.
The mythology about sharks has traditionally been they kind of the embodiment of evil, and their sharp teeth, and they kill people. But the fact is, people used to think of whales that way. Whales used to be dangerous leviathan. I mean, you just read Moby Dick. You know, Moby Dick was portrayed by Captain Ahab as being a monster of the deep, you know, a manhunter. But everything in the environment, everything that exists, eats something else. We tend to be afraid of spiders and snakes, but we love puppy dogs and seals. Once people see whales or sharks in a different light, they can change their mind. These are beautiful creatures, absolutely beautiful creatures that have every right in the world to live on this planet.
I went to all the major conservation organizations, and there was virtually no one doing anything to save sharks.
Are you really concerned, or do you just want to call names?
Extremely concerned.
Well then, let's see some action instead of all of this whining.
Then I met up with Paul Watson,
What is my type, sir?
the renegade of the conservation movement. He sunk a whole Norwegian whaling fleet and ended pirate whaling in the North Atlantic when no one else could. Paul was one of the original activists in Greenpeace, and he's been at war against poaching for 30 years.
Set up the Sea Shepherd Conservation Society in 1977 as an organization to intervene directly to uphold international conservation laws, regulations, and treaties. So it's not a protest organization, but an organization to really fill a vacuum, because there really is no enforcement agencies anywhere in the world to uphold these international laws and treaties.
Trying to sink the ship. They are trying to sink the ship.
So part of the role of the activists like Paul Watson is don't let him get away with it, or at least make him do it in the light of day.
He's a hero. Someone who just does what the politicians haven't got the guts to do. Captain Paul Watson leads possibly the most violent and radical green movement in the world.